Hi, everyone, and welcome to Chair Yoga. To transition ourselves today, I'd like you to take your block and put it behind you. Put it against the chair's backrest in its lengthwise position so that you can lean into that. Now, if you don't have a chair that is high enough in the back that really serves you, then skip this. But if you have that opportunity to use the block to support a back bend, this is done laying on the floor too. So if you're doing that kind of yoga, this is a common setup, or it can be, to support a back bend. Is very much of an opener, as you could imagine, with that size laying on the floor. But anyway, so lengthwise, kind of between your shoulder blades, kind of fiddle around with a little bit so you can feel where it's doable. And then scoot yourself back in the chair so I don't want you to be reaching for it. I want you to be back into the chair so that that block is resting against the backrest, and you can feel that as a support for a back bend. And of course, I never fail to mention that a back bend creates a heart opener. So we're coming into our transition with quite a different posture, leaning back into the block to facilitate a supported back bend. It's going to open up, and it'll open up your heart to your chest area. Close your eyes then so that you can begin this transition from within. So we've kind of set the stage in terms of how we're going to situate. This is quite different how you normally would sit. So already you've taken a step into something new and different. Hopefully you can still feel your feet to the floor. I'm going to put a caveat in here. If that's not true, if your legs are short and bringing yourself into that supported back bend means your feet have left the ground, then don't use the block. Don't do it. Just sit up nice and tall and keep your feet planted. So if you can't accomplish this without having your feet lift up, choose something else. Okay. So when we open through the back area with that block, it opens up your chest cavity. You can just feel how much different your chest cavity is from the way you may normally experience that. So I want, as you close your eyes, that you're imagining the space in your chest cavity that surrounds your lungs. And you're trying to feel your way into that breath in this new, wider space. And try to simmer down enough, relax into it enough that you can trace that breath all the way in and all the way out. As always, with any pose that I suggest that we're moving, if your body's not agreeable to it, if for whatever reason it's just not working for you, just don't do it. Just let it go and we'll move on. So you do this if you can find your way into it in a way that feels productive and feels doable. And the eyes are closed, of course, so we can really focus on this experience from the inside out. I'm going to encourage you to use this simple mantra of in and out, breathing in and breathing out. So you're just saying the word to encourage you to focus on the breath and let your mind sort of settle down. I would bet for most of us, the quieting of the mind aspect of the yoga practice is sometimes the most challenging, because it's always, before you know it, you're off into something else. You've got a list made. You're preparing. You're thinking about what happened yesterday. We're not located in the present moment so quickly. And bringing yourself to the awareness of just the breath in and out takes some doing. I'm just acknowledging that. Feeling the space that you've created for your lungs. Let your breath be in and out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the mouth, whatever just feels like a natural flow and rhythm for you. Open your hands now. If you haven't done that yet, open your hands. Your palms are up on laying on your lap. And you feel that opening of your hands as a gesture to you of receiving, that you're here to receive. You're opening to receive the benefits. So there's a couple different teachers that I often quote about what are the benefits? What can we expect? And I'm going to bring up one such teacher that she says bringing mind and body together. Bringing mind and body together is what we're doing today in our yoga time. We are improving posture. We can rely on some improvement about the way we're holding our body to better alignment. So improving posture. And then, of course, there's awareness of the energy flow and how our yoga practice is an opportunity to create more flow, so more vitality, and or that you're unblocking, removing any stagnant areas in your body so that the energy can flow freely through your body. Breathe in and out, and your hands are telling you that you are open to receive. Push your feet a little more firmly into the floor. So you feel the engagement of your legs and that you feel how you're actually pushing your body back into that block. Push your feet into the floor and then follow that all the way into the body, how it creates more little pressure, I guess, into the block as you lean into it. Now tuck your chin in towards your throat. Stay with the breath for just a couple more breath cycles. Awareness of the in and out as part of our transition. Beautiful. Let's open the eyes now and get the block out from behind you. Now we're going to scoot forward. So come to the front edge of your chair, and the block has now become a spacer in between your legs. Now, again, make sure your feet are straight, and then you can feel like you're making an imprint on the floor. You're pushing down enough that it feels different. You're very intentional about connecting your feet to the floor. And then make your way up in a body scan. As you press your feet to the floor, start to notice how your ankles feel, your shins and calves. So just don't let me keep you from it. You just follow that intentionally up through the body as a scan, how you're doing. And be curious now. Maybe, you're used to, I probably say the same things over and over again, and you might have a different way of approaching this scan. So I don't want to influence you to just come into your body awareness on your own here. All the way to the crown of the head. Let's begin the movement with alternating movements of the arms. So I just want a straight arm up and a straight arm going down. And just see if you can find a rhythm of breath now. Inhaling and then exhaling when you're changing. So you're just finding a nice rhythm of breath. Both arms fully extended, as little bend in the elbow as you can, and your arms as close to you as possible. So close to the body, maybe close to the chair. So it feels to you like up and down movements, just up and down, nothing wide. Keep pushing your feet to the floor. That's it. Couple more. Even it out so it feels like you did both arms equal amount of times. And then we're going to open into the T where the palms face up and we spread our fingers apart. Pull your belly in like crazy, like you're trying to pull, like without your hands, you're trying to pull that block in closer to the floor of your pelvis. So you're pulling in. That's it. And very upright with our posture. Stretch your hands, spread them apart. Take a look from side to side. Of course, this is our movement through the head and neck. So you got to feel your way into this. It's nothing I can direct you to. You're feeling your way into the movement to feel how your neck is doing this morning. Linger, where you feel like, boy, that's tighter than I expected. And so you linger there so you can kind of work it out. Excellent. Let's get both arms up in the air now. Lift up. Exhale down and back. Inhale up and back, and then down and back. Push your feet to the floor. Feel how open your chest cavity is from the very beginning. You already set the stage for that. Lifting up, feeling that spaciousness coming down, swinging through the shoulder socket. Next time arms are up in the air, let's bring the palms together up there. Look up if it feels good for your neck. Inhaling, exhale, we're bowing at the heart. Inhaling up and exhale, take your backstroke. Can you do 2 more of those on your own without my coaching? All the way around. We'll meet with arms alongside the frame of the chair. Pull back and extend your chest bone forward into our cow pose. If you're arching the back, remember shoulders need to stay stacked above the hips. So when we're moving in the spine like we do with the cow and cat vinyasa, you're still keeping alignment, shoulders over hips. So we start with that big arch of the back. Keep your head pretty neutral. I'm going to turn to the side. You are not. So you're just doing what you were, but you'll have another visual here about what I'm talking about. One more good breath as we find our way into the cow pose. That's the extension of the spine. Then grab your kneecaps so your arms are quite straight and tuck your chin in towards your throat as you round through the back body as much as you're able to do. I'm always surprised when I look at myself, when I watch a video of myself doing this. I'll think, God, it feels like I'm doing more than that, but this is the maximum I can create. I do know that. So rounding through the back body, this is the perfect pose to use the bandha breath, to pull that block towards your floor of your pelvis, and then you're squeezing in and up. You know this. This is the Mula Bandha, the strengthening of the pelvic floor, the perineum work. So this is a perfect pose to practice that. Let's move through this as a vinyasa. Inhale up into your cow pose. Exhale, rounding the back and pulling in and up. That's it. Find your own rhythm of movement. Connect it to the breath. And it's exaggerated. You've got to really exaggerate the movement. It's really important that you take full breaths. Otherwise, you're doing this, but you're not fueling it properly. So you've got to stay tuned in to the full breath coming in, the full breath going out. That couldn't be more important. I can't emphasize that enough. Let's do a few more. Really moving through the spine, keeping your shoulders stacked above your hips. Beautiful job. When you finish up, lift those arms all the way up, lift up, and then take a twist. Doesn't matter which side you decide to go with, take a twist. Your legs, the lower body hasn't moved at all, the upper body has. You're keeping a balance in your pelvis left to right. So take a, bring some awareness into that. Are you balanced in your pelvis on the right to the left, left to the right? because you'll want to fix that or make an adjustment if you can. What's the back hand doing? You want to help put it in such a way that it's helping pull that back shoulder back a little bit. Stay with it for a few more breaths all the way through the breath cycle, and just pay attention if there's a green light that shows up, that you're able to move deeper into the twist. We're going to unwind the head first, and then the shoulders and the arms, and we'll come all the way up again. Big inhale. Exhale, go twisting to the other side. Try to balance. You're trying to prevent the leaning. We're trying to hold our body, our spine, in a vertical position. So it's up and down. Takes a little adjusting. Pay attention to how your neck is doing. Full breath in, full breath out. Stay with that breath like that. Let's unwind the head first, and then the shoulders and the arms. Inhale with me all the way up, and we bow at the heart. We inhale up. We take a big backstroke to come out of that, and our fingertips are going to land at the shoulders. Now I want you to do that twisting action as just a continual movement from side to side. We're kind of keeping our little robin's wings up here. So we've got our arms up and just twisting side to side. Notice what's happening with your legs. Right? They have to move. They're kind of squeezing the block differently. At least they are in my body. So just kind of noticing that. You're trying your best to stay, solid and stable with the lower body so the upper body can do this twisting action. But there's movement. There's a little bit of movement in those legs. Finish it up so it feels like you twist it to each side equal number of times. Your best guess. Inhale up with me. Exhale all the way down. Let's try a back bend. Inhale up. We're going to bend those elbows. It's like a heart opener, of course. Inhale up. Open that heart. Move those shoulder blades in the back. Now let's extend those arms out and bring them down, just down and up, right alongside the chair. Make a fist now, soft fist, and bend the elbows. Down, bend, swinging, and then we bend. So we alternate between straight arms and bent elbows in those arms. I want you to pick up the pace with this. Get going. Press your feet to the floor so you feel real solid in your seated position, and you're moving those arms with strength. When you squeeze, you have your hands in a fist and you pull that in, that's going to contract your biceps. Keep going. Good. Let's relax those arms alongside into our mountain pose. So flip your hands so they face forward. Push your feet to the floor. Catch up with your breath, nice and tall. Imagine that wall behind you. Make sure you're leaning back into that imaginary wall. That's, again, a way to keep your shoulders stacked above your hips, that you're not pulling yourself forward. That seems to be the way we misalign, is that our body comes forward. Hold in the belly. Get real strong with that action through the belly. That's it, in your mountain pose. Lift the crown of your head to the ceiling. Just like somebody's got, if there was a puppet string, lifting up right there at the top of the head, lifting up. Excellent. Let's lose the block. Tuck that underneath. And let's take a wide stance. Heels in, toes pointing out. We're going to circle around to begin with. Just a way of resetting the body, loosening up, making sure you're moving through the pelvic bowl. Your head just goes along for the ride. So if you can feel your head kind of spinning around, or, like it's trying to direct this, I want you to make a change to that. So your head is just taking the ride that your trunk of your body has created. Let's change that direction now. We're going to switch the direction of the circular movement. And when you come back to center, find your block and put it kind of between your legs on the floor. So I've got it on this position here. There's another position that's lower than that, but I think you might want a little higher position. So I'm going for that. Know that you could change it anyway once you get going with this. And again, this doesn't work for you. If there's something about it is like, are you kidding me? Then you're not going to be doing that. As a matter of fact, some people that are using a folding chair at the church basement, I'm going to say this is going to be done without the use of that block at all. You wouldn't want to be doing it. Okay, you'll do something different, and I'll show you that. So arms are coming back, so you're holding onto your chair behind you, keeps your chest open. You got a good grip, and then see if you can scoot yourself off the chair and just come back into it. So it's just a slide forward and back. Now, if the slide forward and back is a no-go, then just push your hands like crazy into the back of the chair, and then just imagine that you're lifting yourself up off the chair seat. Just imagine it, but your arms are super strong nonetheless. So you can either add the literal movement of sliding and coming back up and using your triceps and strengthening your arms, or you're pushing like crazy with those arms, imagining that the pelvis has come floating up off of that chair seat. Both work. The next step for those of you who want to try it is that you're touching into the block, that you're bringing yourself low enough in that squat that your bottom has come to rest momentarily on the block. Strong tricep movements. But the strength of your legs is super important here, right? You're not carrying your whole body weight with your arms. You've got your legs in motion. They're helping. They're definitely helping. 2 more, however you're doing it. Stay with it. And then release that, pushing into the strong arm position, and release that. Let's shake that out. Move your wrists around. I like to twinkle the fingers like I'm playing a piano, and loosen that up. Circle that out. Let's use the block again in the middle. So remember how sometimes we use it as an obstacle. So if we hold on to the chair, we're going to hop over that and come back to that wide stance. And I want you to change it every time. So you jump over and you go to the other leg. Take your time with it and see if you can find now the rhythm of your own breath. Bring your feet together. Doesn't matter to me which side. Bring the feet together and pause. Take a pause now as you've got a diagonal line here. Your upper body is still facing forward as it always has been, but your legs have taken on this diagonal position. So you've twisted. So our legs are going one way. We're going to twist our upper body the other way for a quick twisting action here. See if you can balance in your pelvis left to right. So best you can, you've made some adjustment to keep your spine in a vertical position. Big breath in and out. Puff up the chest. We move the head first to come out. Let the shoulders come out of that. Take that big step over. Both legs come to the other side. Set it up. Squeeze your legs together. Twist the other way now. Upper body should be looking the other way. Squeeze your legs together. Push your feet to the floor. Big breath in and out. One more full breath. Unwind, start to unwind, and we'll get that wide stance. I'm going to lose the block. It's underneath the chair, and we're going to take a forward fold. So fold down fold down, hang down like a rag doll. Let your arms come, fit your shoulders in between your legs. Hang your head down, look down and underneath yourself. It's the crown of your head that we're attempting to let it drop down toward the floor. It's not your face, it's the top of your head. Just to remind you. Now, what we need to do here are belly breaths. Move your belly as you breathe. Belly rise and fall. If you need to give yourself a little coaching, belly rise and fall. Belly is rising and falling. Lots of belly movement. Ragdoll. So we're just letting our body weight just hang as best we can. One more good belly breath, and then jump your hands to your thighs one at a time. Squeeze your elbows into your waist, and I'll meet you in the middle. That means you're at a half lift. You've got your back body in a diagonal line. Press your feet into the floor like crazy. And if you feel like it doesn't feel that strong, I'm going to say maybe move your feet a little closer to the chair. Maybe you've got them too far away. So get your feet in a position that you can push down into them. It's like, oh yeah, that's strong legs. I can feel the difference. Spread your arms away from you like wings would do. And now it's completely reliant. You're holding your upper body with the strength of your legs entirely. The arms are of no use except for they're spreading their wings so that you can fly and feel the strength of that. Inhale up with me all the way. Exhale, we'll bow up and all the way around. Let's bring our legs into the hips distance apart now. I want you to scoop up one leg, hold on to your shin. I'm going to ask you to scoop up your left leg and start to circle around. So we're opening. I could feel a lot of crackling going on for my shin. I could feel it even. So circling around in your ankle and even the shin. Spread your toes. You're very upright. And then we're going to slip the hands underneath that heavy leg. And so then now we can move around the lower leg as we move into loosening up through the knee joint and its lateral movement. Big heavy leg. That's what I encourage you to do so we can continue to build strength in the arms. Grab your shin again and pull in and push out. So we're going to do that pull and push. The other leg now has taken a straight leg out. And of course, you're going to need to lean back. That's how you're going to balance your body weight. So don't hesitate to pull in and push out and let your upper body sort of lean back a bit so you can balance yourself. Pull in, push out. That straight leg is hovering above the floor if possible. If it's like, no, that doesn't work for me, then it can just have the heel down. Deepen the breath. Get the straight leg back down to the floor again. Hug that knee into the chest for good measure. Take it wide and bring it back to center so the bent knee is moving wide. Maybe you're holding onto the chair to make sure you're not slip sliding around. Maybe you don't need to do that. However you're positioning yourself, let's move through the hip. Good, let's get that foot to the floor. Any adjustments you need to make, just reset the body. Let's go to side two. Hug that knee into the chest. Pull it in. Let's start with the ankle movement. You're very upright. We're not leaning back here. We're not leaning back. We're very upright with our position. Move the toes. Nice and steady with your breathing. This is all kind of focused within the frame of the chair. I like to kind of bring that to your awareness that you're kind of pulling in so you feel like you've got the support of that framework. Now we're going to slip our hands underneath the thigh, just interlace your fingers, and then let that heavy leg be held by the strength of your arms as you just move around in a circular way so that your knee gets a chance to loosen up with these lateral movements. Good. Now we're coming back to the hugging the knee into the chest, pull in and push out. Yes, you will be leaning back. You're going to create the balance for this. Let that leg hover above the floor if possible, and let your upper body make its adjustments so you can balance, pulling in and pushing out. Again, we're using the frame of the chair, so we're not just holding ourselves any old cockeyed way. We want to be nice and tight within the framework of our own body. One more full breath. Let's put that straight leg back to the floor now, and then we're going to just guide the other leg off to the side as we rotate externally in our hip. Remember, you can hold on to the chair, hold on to your body parts, however you manage this, rotating in through that hip socket, out and back in. All right, let's stay with that leg, and we're going to bring ourselves into the figure four. So we're going to cross that ankle on top of the thigh, start the massage work. Feel like your sit bones, I kind of shift around to pull butt flesh away from the sit bones so I feel more squared away, a little more connected. Maybe you like to massage the feet, because that you can feel resistance sometimes, that it's just so tight in your feet that even putting your foot up here seems like a whole lot of work. So your first go-to is your feet. Holding yourself in a figure four position is a stretch for a lot of bodies that already, just because you cross your leg like this, you feel like, this is a lot of work already. So you just hold it, keep the massaging going on, and wait it out. If you are in the place where you can deepen that a little bit, let's drape the arms past the shin and let the chest bone pull you forward inch by inch. As you're allowing your upper body's weight to deepen that stretch, it starts pulling into the hip and the buttocks more and more as your body weight folds forward. Very important, again, deepen the breath. I know it feels like, but when I deepen the breath, I feel it more. And you're thinking, that's not a good strategy. I don't want to feel this, but I'm going to encourage you to be brave, because it's the felt experience where we get the payoff. And what I have learned, and this is the phrase I like to remind you of, healing happens in sensation. Healing happens in sensation. Finish your breath all the way through. Come back up, be upright again, and see if you can get your hands out of the way so that you can move that leg back down and up and do a couple of those movements. Good. Reset the body. Any kind of movement you need, reset the body. As a matter of fact, I'm going to encourage you to get onto your toes and then your heels drop again. So let's move through our feet that way as a little reset. We're popping those heels way up, putting our Barbie feet on and coming up onto the toes. Good. All right, side two, we're going to get ourselves into that figure four over here. Use your massaging. This leg is different, and I'm reminding you, you should just approach it like a beginner. This is the beginner's mind, where we say, gosh, it should be like this. It should feel like, like the other one did, and rarely does. We're always a little bit different side to side. So just meet yourself with a lot of compassion and tenderness. Again, I'm going to pull that fleshiness away so I feel more connected with the bony structure of the pelvis. Include your feet if that's appropriate for you. To deepen it, same deal. Arms are going to drape past the shin. We're going to let our chest bone, inch by inch, let our body weight come into the stretch, pulling ourselves or allowing ourselves to deepen that stretch in the hip, because our body weight is shifting forward, forward, any amount. Deepen the breath. Follow your breath to its completion of the exhale. You have your lungs are in their full capacity from what you've already done. So you're taking that inhale with your lungs wide open for you. Flex the foot here. Flex that top foot. Protects the knee when we do that. One more good breath. Bring yourself upright. We're going to hold on to the chair so that we can put that foot to the floor and then bring it back up. Create that figure four. And that's just a range of movement we're encouraging in our body, that we can find that on our own. Last time, both feet to the floor. Let's take that wide stance. Circle that out. Take a forward fold, hang down like a rag doll, shoulders in between your legs, surrender the weight of your head. Big belly breaths. Let's count them out. 3. We're just doing 3 belly breaths. Hands will then, when you're done, jump one hand at a time to your thighs. Meet me halfway up. So you have a diagonal line in your back body. Pull the chin in towards your throat. You feel the strength of your legs. That's when it's time to spread your wings. Now inhale all the way up. Carry yourself up with your arms. Look up. Big inhale and exhale as we bow. Inhale back up. Exhale, take that big sweeping action. We're going to just shift our weight by kicking those legs up. Let the bottom come up. Kick your legs up. Bottom comes up. Last time means we're going to stand here. Lift up. Grab your block. Let's grab the block and put it between our lower legs. Standing in mountain pose. Lift your toes now and spread them apart. Just feeling your feet differently. Make sure they're straight. You're lifting your toes up, spread them apart. Now let the toes come back down. I'm standing here with a fan blowing on me, so it feels funny. I'm going to move just a bit. All right. Mountain pose has arms alongside the body, hands face forward, and pull the belly in like crazy. Now lift up all the way through the crown of the head like that little puppet string at the top. Let's close eyes if you're comfortable doing that. Close your eyes. Unlock the knees. Make sure there's a soft little bend of your knee so you are preventing any kind of overextension there. The rest of the body is very turned on. It's got the muscular action going on. Now find a full body feeling of breathing. You want your whole body breathing in, breathing out. And you can feel it. If eyes closed, you can start to use your imagination to trace that breath. All the way up and then down. So the inhale ascends, perhaps. The exhale descends down your body. One more breath all the way through. Good. Let's pop those eyes open and we'll move the block to the side. Let's stand near the chair in a way that gives us access. Here's where you may use your cloth. So you might have that at the ready. Some of you may not use it today because here's what I had in mind as a possibility is a quad stretch. I'm going to figure out a way that you. So standing near the chair, I like to have the back of the chair by my hip. That seems like for me, gives me lots of support or not. I can just use it or not. So let's start with some leg swings on that outside leg. The standing leg is the one that's near the chair. So we're going to flex and extend here. It's a straight leg that goes forward and we're pulling that bent knee back. It's at a straight line. You're trying to, again, be very specific that you're keeping within the framework of your body as you move this leg. Flexing and extending your hip. I wanted to introduce a quad stretch. We haven't done that in quite a while. So we can do the quad stretch, first of all, by pulling back and kind of kicking yourself. It's like you're giving yourself a little butt kick. So as we come back, we're really using a lot more effort by pulling back with a bent knee so you can feel a little more in the quad. Now let's really stretch that quad. So I want you to either grab hold of your ankle and bend that knee and pull back. And if that doesn't work for you, you might set yourself up so that you can get that cloth onto your ankle. And then you're holding on to that cloth instead of your ankle and gives you a little more access. So see if that's of any use to you. If it's not, just skip it. You can just pass on that, but it could be a tool that you find useful. So the quad stretch is a bent knee drawing in towards center. So do not have your knee out there. That's the no, that's the X across the screen. It's drawing your knee in toward the other leg and pulling the foot back. So maybe you're doing that as a come and go where you give it a little stretch and then I got to get out of that. Or you can hold it. You're pulling and you're holding and you're breathing, stretching. Pulling the heel toward your buttocks is a different stretch in the quad. Play around with that. Pulling your foot away from the buttocks, one stretch. Pulling your heel in toward the buttocks, different stretch. Deepen your breath and release it. Let's shake that out. You can just step around perhaps, and you don't need to move your chair at all. I need to in my setup. So we go to side 2. It starts with that flex and extension. Keep yourself within the frame of your body here. Pretty much a straight leg goes forward, and then we have a bent knee coming back. Let's loosen it up with a few movements like this. Find your breath rhythm. You might be breathing quite loud now. That's okay. That's good. And then we're going to really emphasize the quad stretch by kind of doing a butt kick. We're pulling back with some effort to try to, as though we're trying to kick ourselves in the butt. Pull it with some effort. Excellent. Okay, now it's time to either grab hold of your ankle, bend your knee, or you have your cloth and you're going to put it onto the ankle and then you can hold the cloth instead. So find the way to set, or you're just simply continuing with the butt kick. You're just moving your leg around. You're going to wait it out. No problem. Play with those alternate ways that you pull your foot back away from the buttocks or you draw your heel in toward the buttocks. So you can feel the difference of those stretches. I'm a big fan of pulling my foot away. I like that stretch better. It feels more significant, I guess, more appropriate for my body. Let's deepen the breath. Okay, let's release our hand from our foot, get the feet back to the floor, and just stand in a way, heels in, toes out. So you can just kind of sway as you reset. You're just letting your body sway from side to side, moving your body weight from one foot to the other. Let's add a little twist. Keep your arms, maybe you got your hands at your waist. I want you to take a little twist toward your side. And when you do so, I want you to make sure the back foot has the heel popped up. So as you turn in one direction, that opposite direction, that leg, that foot should pop up the heel because it's just the natural way your body is going to help your knee from torquing. So it's just, as you go from side to side, make sure you're allowing that back heel to pop up. And then we're going to let those arms kind of swing. But the legs know what to do now. Doesn't matter which side you're on. Let's take that one side, weight it out, lift the arms up, look up, palms face each other. That back heel is up. We're looking up. Full breath in and out. Let's swing over to the other side. Same thing. Back heel is popped up, arms up, palms face each other. Full breath in and out. Let's bring those arms back down and shake that out a bit. Feet come together, mermaid leg. We've got our feet together, knees are bent. We're going to circle that around. This is good for your joints. Circle around. Pay attention to what's going on. You don't need to watch it on the screen. Stay with your body. Change the direction of the circle. Feel how you move around in your feet and ankles with this. And then a little wider step. So we've got a little more space between our feet. Our feet are still straight. Arms are fully extended, meaning there's no bend in the elbow. I've got my hands kind of holding on near my knee. They're not on the kneecap, but they're very near that, holding on. Let's move through the cat and cow. I want you to see if you can find a tuck and tilt of your pelvis. And notice what that does with your spine. Tucking. There, I'm in the tilt position now, and then tucking and tilting the pelvis. Moving the spine by way of your pelvis, tucking and tilting. One more through this tuck and the tilt. Bring yourself up nice and easy. Take a pause. Make sure you're caught up with your breath. Position yourself by your chair in such a way that you can stretch out in that L shape. Hands are on the back of the chair. We're going to stretch that out. Imagine you have a block between your thighs. Squeeze that imaginary block to stabilize the low body. Try to straighten out the bend of the knee as much as you're able to do. Just keep working on it. Tucking the chin in toward the throat. Breathing through the full length of your body. Big stretch. You can feel the imprint of your feet to the floor. Let's start walking toward the chair. And take a pause once we get there, standing up, adjusting, letting our body adjust from that inversion. And just a little more into the hips by lifting a bent knee up to the side and then the other. And I want you to turn to look so you're including a little move of the shoulders and the head and neck. One more L-shaped stretch. Start walking backwards, find that same L-shaped stretch. If there's another little thing you appreciated doing for yourself when you come into this stretch, maybe you like to lift your heels up or pedal your feet a little bit. All those things are welcome. Let your body be your guide. Deepen the breath. Healing happens in the sensation we're experiencing. So invite the full breath. Don't be afraid of it. Excellent. Let's start walking toward the chair nice and easy. When you make your way up, we're finding our mountain pose. Palms face forward, feet are straight. Just finding your mountain pose. Inhale with me, palms together overhead. Exhale, bow to your own heart. Inhale back up, and exhale, take a big backstroke to come out of that. Let's move into our meditation time now. Our time for relaxation and adjusting into Shavasana and a quieting of the mind, the meditation part. So some of you are grabbing a second chair to elevate your feet. Truly, if you're at a place in your home where you have access to a way to lay down on a bed or a sofa, I would encourage you to do that. The more relaxed our body is, the more able we are to quiet the mind and enjoy a sense of that meditation stillness that we are trying to create for ourselves. You can't do it when you're riled up. It's impossible to quiet the mind and think, I'm meditating now, and your body is still riled up. It has to be, it's got to start with an experience of total relaxation. So if you're new to this, you're new to the idea of meditation, make your focus be initially that you're just deepening your ability to and your willingness to really relax. It's a great start. Eyes should be closed, getting the whatever surface is holding you up, you're really letting it hold you up, letting it be your source of support. And we'll do some guided imagery here with the breath. And just give yourself to a full experience of relaxation. Start by breathing in as though the breath is starting right in the center of our head, kind of behind our eyes. That's our point of reference as we take our breath in. And as we exhale that breath down, all the way down to where we're sitting, to the floor of the pelvis. And then we let that inhale come up back to the center of the head. And we go down through the body to the pelvis as we exhale. So it's imagery. We're just allowing our imagination to create that pathway of the breath. Inhaling in the center of your head and letting that exhale go all the way, find its way all the way down to maybe the center of your pelvis. Relax your tongue, relax your jaw, soften the face, and continue with that breath. Next time that inhale is back into the center of your head, let that exhale come down, but just down to the navel, to the belly button, and then back up to the center of the head. So we've just shortened it a bit. But notice how it still feels like your whole body is benefiting from that point to point reference of your breath and your awareness to it. Breathing from the center of the head down to the navel and inhaling back to the center of the head and just continuing with that breath as it softens the entire body. Eyes are closed, very private and intimate time. When we inhale next at the center of the head, the exhale is going to take us to the heart center. So it's right in the center of your sternum. Again, we've shortened it a bit. Inhale at the center of the head. Exhale down to your heart center at the center of your sternum. Still full breath, both in and out. It's just more expansive, I guess, because it's shortened. And let that breath from the center of the head down to the heart center soften even more the entire body. Full breath in at the center of the head. Full breath makes its way out to the heart center. Inhale again at the center of the head. We're shortening that exhale to the throat, the base of the throat, sometimes called the throat pit. So just the center of the head down to the base of the throat. But it's still a full breath in and a full breath out that lands at the throat. And we've softened, we continue to soften our entire body. Now, release the point to point contact within the body and find yourself in the space that surrounds your body. As you breathe naturally now, notice the space that surrounds your body. Maybe that feels too vast, too hard to recognize. Then bring it a little closer, like the space that surrounds your head or face. See what you can do to acknowledge in some way, become aware of in some way, the space around your body as you breathe naturally. You notice too that you are breathing in from the space around you and out again into that same space. The breath comes in from the space around you and out again into it. Beautiful. Layer your hands, palm on the chest bone, and then your other palm lays right on top of that first hand. So palm have come layered on your at your heart center. Just kind of holding yourself there. And we'll do a shortened version of the loving kindness meditation. So remember, this starts with a blessing for yourself. Second is for the people you know and love. Let's say your circle. And then finally, we offer that very same blessing to all people everywhere. Most people we don't know. Settle into your breath, your relaxed body. May I feel safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live in peace. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live in peace. May all people everywhere be safe. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May all people everywhere, every person, every being live in peace. Let's flutter the eyes open. We're going to sync up our breath one last time. Inhale with me. Palms will be together overhead. Exhale as you bow into your own heart. Inhale back up. Exhale. Let's share this loving energy, this blessing with our community. Bring hands to the prayer position once again. We bow to ourselves and we bow to one another. Namaste, my friends. And thanks for joining me.